What is up? What's up? We are back with a new subject. We want to talk about men and women, how to train them, how to program for them. Should you train them the same or no? My answer is real simple. Yes and no. So let's break it down why I say yes or no. Now, it's commonly known you could literally put the exact program and the exact training for a man and a woman, have them do the exact same thing, and you know what? They're both going to complete it. But the results, the data that you're going to get back is going to be a little bit different. Now, common knowledge, upper body strength, females tend to be a bit weaker than males in terms of upper body strength. Whereas with lower body strength, they're a little bit closer in comparison. According to the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, Lubbock had a roughly 45-year study that gave the following results. Female upper body strength is anywhere from 50 to 60% of male upper body strength, whereas female lower body strength was around 60 to 70% of male's lower body strength. Now, there's various studies that have a little bit up, a little bit lower for both of those particular sections of the body, upper and lower. But for the most part, they tend to be a bit consistent along those lines. And while women tend to be a little bit smaller and lighter and also have a higher percentage of body fat, they do, both men and women, have very similar body types in terms of muscle tissue. The big difference is women tend to have a higher percentage of endurance fibers, whereas men tend to have a higher percentage of strength fibers. And as a result, of course, if you were to give a male and a female the exact same type of program and or training cycle, you're going to get some different results, of course, because the muscle fibers are different. Does it mean they can't train the same? Not at all. Does it mean they need to train completely differently? Not at all. But it does mean that you need to take into account the way you program and or have your male and females training. I often refer back to an article I read from Stronger by Science called Strength Training Women. And basically it breaks down to this point. When programming and setting up training for females and males, a thing that one always keeps in the back of its head is, in terms of females, they can benefit from the following. Training at a higher percentage of maximum effort, meaning they can train a lot closer to that 1 rep max and not burn out as quickly as your males will. More frequent workouts. So basically, if you have a man you have training, 3 or 4 times a week, you might be able to have female going 5-6 times a week and get better results and higher training volume. You let the guys tell you in the gym that's not a possibility, but higher training volume for women actually can be more beneficial for them versus your males. And one of the big things that I've really taken account of and really tried to add to my programming, especially with my females, is being aware of their menstrual cycles. In the article Stronger by Science, they referred to an article from womensportsfoundation.org, which actually talks about the menstrual cycle tracking. So I've taken a piece of that and kind of added it to my programming. So I always keep it in the back of my mind, as this article stated, I tend to add the heavier parts of the load of the programming toward the beginning of the menstrual cycle. The reason I do that is because you can actually optimize the hormones that the body produces during the beginning of the menstrual cycle that can actually lead to more strength gains for the female. Not that I'm some scientific guru, because I'm definitely not, but the idea of the optimization of hormones for strength gains, if it's going to mean the difference between a 400-pound squat and a 415 to 420-pound squat, let's be real. I'm taking it. At the end of the day, my big thing is communication. As long as my males and females are communicating with me to a point where I have an idea of where their strength is going, what they're expecting, and where they're trending, I feel like we're in a really good place. Not everyone's the same. You can't cookie cutter a program to fit one person and it fit another person. You really have to be personal about these things and really work on that communication between you and the athlete. Athletes just want to feel taken care of. And as a coach, your job is to take care of them in some respect. Not everyone coaches the same, and not every athlete works the same. And not all communication between coach and athlete is the same. But I do know this. If me paying attention to what my athlete has to say is going to put them in a better position, I'm all for it. If my athlete being open with me and let me know where they're at, what their expectations are, it's going to help me become a better coach. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to be, the best coach possible. Not only do I want to be the best athlete possible, I communicate with my coaches just as well as I want my athletes to communicate with me. Everyone's trying to get better. And the more you communicate, the more better your chances of having a better training session, a better training log, and a better training block are going to be. Yeah, I think that's about it.